Hey, 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 Fit Mama. Jen Oliver here, your host of the Fit Mama podcast. This is the work in to your workout. Caroline, it is so great to have you here on the Fit Mama podcast this week. I can't wait to dive into your story. You know, it's exciting to talk to people who are living inspired lives like yourself because they provide role models to us. And I think that's one of the things that we need most as women is inspired role models. And you are one of them. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jen. That is very humbling because I don't believe myself to be an inspiring person. I think that's a very lovely intro, and I thank you.
Yeah.
But, you know, my story is very similar to a lot of people. We live our life and we just go through the emotions, and then one day you'll find yourself and you just wake up, and hopefully you won't be 50 when you do like I was.
So what happened when you were 50? Tell us about that. You woke up one day when you were 50. Tell us what that means.
I just thought there has to be more. And yoga was always calling to me. Yoga always called to me. And I actually took yoga teacher training when I was 49. Can you imagine?
No, yeah. I love that. So what led you to taking that when you were 49? What happened before that?
Well, I joined a yoga studio and I loved it so much. And of course, my intention was, you know, I'm going to take yoga for me. And then I would do the yoga teacher training to deepen the practice, to know more about it. And of course, you know, my thought was maybe I'll teach one class a week or whatever. And then I went on from there to become a partner in a studio. Seriously, I mean, this is all mapped out because these thoughts, I would have never thought this would ever happen for me. Never in a million years.
So tell me, let's backtrack a little because I am curious. You know, we all have those moments in our lives where something sort of clicks or triggers us to see things differently and perhaps act differently. So what was it that yoga was that attracted you or that you thought it was going to fulfill in you when you said, I want to study it or I want to join this studio? What was going through your life or your mind at the time?
Jen, you know what I think? I was always in the service industry, so I was always multitasking, even a word I hate today. And I was always, so I was, you know, I was totally unconsciously living. That's the truth, really unconscious living. Plus, I was very angry. My hashtag is truly, you know, the recovering screaming banshee. That's basically what I was.
Okay. I love this. You are a wealth of stuff here.
Love it.
Wow. No. Well, you know what? I mean, hindsight is 2020. So of course you're learning right now things that you repressed. You know, there was anger. There was a need to be busy and busy and busy. So it seems to me from what you're saying that yoga represented this different way of being. Was it that?
It most certainly was. Because I knew that it could bring me to peace of mind. And it's all about peace of mind. If you don't have peace of mind, sure, it doesn't matter what you own and what you have, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know, all your materialistic things. They don't count if you have no peace in your head. You don't.
No.
And even as a teacher, I always hope, you know, can I give my women in front of me on their mats 60 minutes of peace? Can I bring them into mindfulness, just even for this time, before the day takes over? And especially now as well. I mean, we're living in a time where no one is centered. Not everyone, I shouldn't generalize like that. But people are not centered because they're worrying about tomorrow or else they're regretting their past, right?
So thank you. Yes. And I do have to agree with you. That is a majority of people are living in that way. Is that what you mean when you refer to living unconsciously, or what were you saying specifically?
That's exactly what I mean, living unconsciously.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. And you know, Jen, I had 3 children and I was unconscious for all of us. Honest to God, I was worried. I had financial worries, you know, concerns. And we were, you know, out in Canada and we had no family support and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of course. And unfortunately, you know, I was angry. My mother was angry. My granny was angry. And I have my own daughter and I don't want her going through life, you know, angry, right? We have to change somewhere along the way.
So
right?
what made you realize that you didn't want to be that way anymore?
How did I realize that? Because I was sad and I was tired being sad. Yes, I was sad. And when we're there, like we're eating our emotions, the usual nonsense, right? We'll be doing something. We're always doing something. If I can keep all the chaos moving, we don't have to look at ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But
So
somehow
was
we
it
get tired of
eating,
the chaos.
or what was it for you that you were sort of self-medicating with?
Everything. Everything, because I'm one of those people, first of all, the workaholic, absolutely, right? And it was the same. My mother was the same. I was literally living my mother's life. There's no doubt, right? And then when I got into the yoga retreats, the first one was like up in Grand Bend, and my first yoga retreat was with 7 women.
Wow.
And I remember, when I did the first yoga retreat, it's the essence of the energy that's created over that weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we're craving, right? We're craving that just peace and stillness and silence just for a little bit, right?
I know, and we don't realize that we're missing it. It's like we think we can do without it because in the day of technology, we put our importance on that. We don't realize the importance of that stillness. So, I mean, I'm a huge proponent of retreats. I love what I know of your retreats, and I know that we're going to get to hear more about that today on this podcast. So tell me a little bit about your impetus to going on your first retreat, because that alone is a big, scary step that some people never take in their entire lives. So take us to that place.
You know what, Jen? You're so right. It was. And it was this is how that started. I was actually at home in Ireland, and my mother lives in County Wexford, and she lives very close to this beautiful beach, Blackwater Beach. So that's on the Irish Sea, right? So I'm there one day, and I'm walking, and I walk alone when I'm in Ireland, right? I try and walk alone as much as I can.
Nice.
And so when I was walking, I remember thinking, and it was just beautiful. The ocean was just clear and gentle, and the waves were just coming in tiny, and it was beautiful. And I thought, you know what? I want to bring other women here so that they can feel, clarity of mind, right? Peace in the heart, just even for, a half an hour. Look where you are, right? Yeah. So anyway, I came home with the mad idea, came back to Canada with the mad idea. Of course, many people said to me, you're off your head. And I said, no, I'm going to do this. Now, it took me 2 years to find all over Ireland. I mean, I know Ireland. I'm an Irish person, but it took me 2 years to find a location that I really loved.
Wow. That's a full commitment.
Jen, you must remember, these women are lying in these beds for a week. It's not, going to bunk bed somewhere for a weekend.
Yeah,
this is
true.
A trip and an experience. I want to have them in the height of luxury. And that's why we're going to castles and historic homes, and they're on 200 acres, or the next one is like 1,000 acres estate. So this is things that women would not necessarily do for themselves. Because the way we put ourselves beyond glass, right?
Well, you know what? I love that you point that out, because obviously, I mean, that's a huge piece of what I talk about for sure. But I love gifting people and seeing people gift themselves with things that they would never really get themselves, And actually, I did recently text my own sister, who's one of those really giving people, and she's always organizing everybody's presents for the birthdays and holidays and this and that. And I sent her a message saying, hey, what can we do for you? And what do you really want? And gave her all these great suggestions, one of them being a retreat, because it is one of those things that we don't do for ourselves. So, I mean, I'm excited to get into what someone would expect as going to a retreat, because I think that can really inspire someone to say, hey, you know what? I am open to trying. So what would a retreat day look like? Because a week is quite a long time. So that sounds amazing. And I can imagine the transformation that can happen over that type of time frame. So talk to us about what that would look like when someone would fly in, or, how does that go?
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, day one, if you're coming from the States or you're coming from Canada, it's an international flight, so you're flying overnight.
Okay.
So day one, I start the retreat at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Nice.
Easy, nice, welcoming, whatever you need, right? Get you into your beautiful room and sort you out, whatever you need. And then from there, and I mean, there's people that they like a cup of this kind of tea before they go to bed at night time and whatever. I make sure all those things are there for you, because I know in advance. I know your dietary requirements in advance, and I know what you like. I mean, we have people that want to come and they want to bring these the monitors for a sleep app and stuff like that. I make sure we have that hydro set up for that and everything.
Of course.
Honestly, yes, because if you're going to come away, and this is an experience probably of a lifetime for many women, right? I want all your needs met. I want to go on a retreat that I would love to be on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Comfort.
Yes,
And that's one of the things that people
yeah.
are already stepping outside of their comfort zone a lot.
So now you're in Ireland with me, So basically then what happens is they will go to Nidra that night. We'll do the yoga of sleep. So the yoga of sleep, they'll get the kinks out. We talk them through a full body relaxation, right?
Yes, if anybody hasn't done that before, I know if anybody hasn't done yoga nidra before, if it's available in the city or yoga studio near you, you will feel transformed even from one episode of yoga nidra for sure.
It's the best ever. And do you know what, Jen? In the city, in Windsor itself, and in Essex County, we have some phenomenal yoga teachers.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Really do. Yeah, there's a lot of girls out there that are very, very well trained and have taken many, many trainings. And I mean, for a city like this to be able to avail of that, we're very blessed. We're very lucky.
Well, and this is a global podcast, so people will be able to find Yoga Nidra in their city as well. And there are so many incredible yoga teachers worldwide now offering incredible things, which is why they can get exposed to it and then fly from wherever they are to Ireland to be with you. So where would they fly into? Dublin, or is it always different?
No, they can fly into Dublin, and then what I do is when they fly into Dublin, I meet them there. I have a bus and a driver in Dublin that I've been using for many times, Paul,
nice.
And he goes and gets the women, and he brings them back as well. We haven't had a flight missed yet.
Wow.
So, when people want to return, because that's always a little thing on people's minds too, especially if they're on connected flights. But we always have them back on the airport in right time.
Oh, great.
But the week is spent basically, Jan. They'll do yoga in the morning time and in the afternoon, right? Before dinner, every evening we'll do yoga. The kitchens are open in the castle, and they just go help themselves to anything in the kitchen that they want. I mean, if you're a non-sleeper, you need a cup of tea during the night, just come down to the kitchen.
Right.
There's always going to be something available.
Nice.
And the day goes on. I mean, in May, we're actually going to go to Sligo, which is in the wild Atlantic Way on the west of Ireland. Big plans. Yeah, I know. I start off designing these retreats, and then I kind of get a bit bonkers.
It is an experience of a lifetime, though. That's an experience.
It is, and I want them to remember it. It really is making memories. And our ladies that go home, which I love, Jen, they stay connected.
Oh, I love that.
They call themselves, the Irish Yoga Sisters and stuff like that. I love it. Yeah, and everybody, honestly, from 20 to 70, it just amazes me. I mean, I have had people on yoga retreats that have never done yoga a day in their life.
Oh, so no experience necessary to come then? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And when I say to them, like, what are you going to do in Ireland if you don't do yoga? They say, we don't care. We're in Ireland.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So are they beginner classes, or what kind of physical wise? Because, is that going to be a lot of soreness? I know some people get intimidated as opposed to invigorated.
No, Jen. I don't want people being on holiday and then sending them home hurt.
Yeah, I like your style. No pain, all gain is what we say here at Fit Mama.
Yeah, and there is no pain in yoga, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So basically what they'll do is they will hike and they'll walk, but there's lots of time for rest in the afternoon if they wish to have a rest or read a book by the fireplace or whatever they like to do. Or they'll join me and we walk around the whole estate. Right? And there's lots of things there to do. And then, of course, I'm going to be taking them on 2 different days of sightseeing to see some of Ireland as well. I wanted them to see as much as they can. But I still don't want to send them home exhausted, right?
No, exactly.
I want them home lovely and, refreshed and relaxed, and hopefully, that they see other, a different perception for them when they go home, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, so many people wait and push themselves so hard just waiting for their vacation. Then they go on a family vacation and they're zonked and they need a vacation from the vacation. And that's just simply not possible. So people just build up that burnout, right?
Well, Jen, I was the mother that would go on a family vacation, and before I would leave my home, I would be mopping the floor, literally mop myself out the door to go on a vacation.
I love
madness. Remember all that nonsense?
Oh, I don't, because I never incorporated that into my lifestyle, but I know the idea behind it, yes.
Yeah, and you are right, because when you're on a family trip as well, you want to please and make everybody happy and make big memories with your family and everything, right?
Yeah.
And of course, on the way home, everybody's killing each other anyway, right?
Yeah, you know what? It is
No, I
pretty
get it.
intense. And that's the thing. Motherhood and parenthood, it does come with its fair share of challenges. And I think that's what really the bottom line is behind you having retreats like this. And I myself run retreats, and I'm a firm
Yeah,
believer of attending retreats, whether it's personal development, physical development, spiritual, emotional development, whatever it may be, business development, because at the end of the day, there's something sacred about separating yourself from your everyday life, those monotonous minutiae that make up your days. Would you agree?
absolutely, absolutely. And I think, and I know it's hard for the young mom. I mean, when I was a young mom,
Mm-hmm.
a retreat for me, if you said go on a retreat, it would be like asking me to go to space.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have never, I would not in a million years. And Jenna, to be quite honest with you, I used to think parents that went on vacations without their children were terrible parents. Now I
Isn't
look
that
back and I think, my
interesting?
God, those people were brilliant, right? They were brilliant. I think they were self-centered. I think, oh my God, they were the smart ones.
Well, they might
They were
still
the
be
smart
married.
ones.
That's the case anyway.
Yes, but you know what I mean? It was like, you need space. And when you come home, you're nicer, right?
Yes.
You're
Well, and
kinder, you're more balanced,
your kids
right?
appreciate you in a way that they sometimes take for granted when you don't leave, and you can tend to do things for them overly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I did that with my three till they were in their late 20s. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
didn't know any better.
Well,
I
and
mean,
that's the
there
thing.
was
Your
no
role
fit mama back in my
models,
day.
right?
I'm sorry.
Your role models that you had were doing that.
No, yes, yes. My mother, God bless her heart, my mother had one lipstick and one bottle of perfume. I still remember that, Jan.
Yeah.
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 There was no such thing as self-care. And you must remember as well, at my age, Jen, when I was in the workforce, working moms were, if you took time off because your child was sick or you needed a special day at home or something, you want to go see your child in a play, it was frowned on, Jen.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yes, that's the way it was back in those days. Yeah, now I look at my daughter today, and her children are her priority, and as they should be,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you too. Look at you with your girls. It's the same, right?
It is. And
Yeah.
they so need that, because if they feel like they can't rely on you when they're sick, or you're feeling like, oh, guilty, I'm going to lose my job if I'm here to nurture my child back to health, that's a large stressor on the system. And I know that's been a huge connection to things such as diseases related to cancer, thyroid issues, many, many, many diseases and illnesses are related to the emotional burdens that we've felt at some point on our motherhood journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know that saying, you don't really realize how bad you felt till you start feeling good, right?
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
true.
And I think with the mama, and especially with me, I mean, the Irish mother syndrome, my God almighty, we nearly breed for our children, right? And unfortunately, that has to let go because we're not empowering them in any way.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you think you're doing good by them by offering them something you maybe didn't think you had as a child, but it ends up backfiring in the way that creates a spoiled person or something else, right? So we're always doing the best that we can. And I think that spending some time one-on-one, as I teach, taking care of yourself, doing the Fit Mama Foundations, going on retreats such as yours, and taking that time out allows you to reconnect, and I always say disconnect to reconnect, because we're so connected to our phones and to our computers and our everything that we think we have so importantly to do during the week. Well, when we can disconnect and really unplug to recharge, we feel an incredible amount of freedom, and we get perspective on, things that really we might have been doing that truly are not aligned with our values. So are there activities or any kind of things during the retreat that would address things like mindset, intention, being proactive, focusing on your habits? What would you say?
Absolutely. Because we do that. We actually hike on the Burn, which is in County Clare in Ireland, and the Burn is millions of years old. It used to actually be the seabed before the Ice Age.
Ooh.
So it's a sacred place, And the beautiful writer, John O'Donoghue, he was born and raised in that area. And he
Mm.
wrote that book, Anamkara. Anamkara means, in English, it means friend of the soul.
Mm.
So we do some of his readings in our class. And then, of course, when we get to the Burren, this beautiful, oh my goodness, place, we do the reading there. And there's also a holy well. And the holy well is fed from a stream from the Mourne Mountain. So the women get to drink from the well. And they also, the custom is as well, when you go to this holy well on the Burren, that you leave something behind, an anxiety, worry, something that's sitting on you. Now, our ladies sometimes get quite emotional here, and it's something they won't forget.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're working towards always. We're always working towards quietness and space and peace. And please turn off the cell phone. Facebook will be alive and well when you go back home. It'll be okay, right? Yeah, because you're missing out. And I find with electronics as well, it's creating loneliness for people. Right? And also my younger ladies, I see, it creates that higher expectation because people have these lovely lives and they're doing this and they're doing that, and you're not. And, I never want anyone to feel less than. That's
No, absolutely not.
Ever.
And I think,
No.
What you mentioned earlier about these women forming bonds and akin to a sisterhood of people who have had shared experiences, which bonds them further. I think there's really something memorable at that. We always say, well, how do you meet friends later in life? We have all these friends that bring us down, or they were our high school friends that we just live in the same city and we're like, why do I even talk to this person anymore?
Yeah.
Forming higher vibration relationships is what things like this are about. And I think that's beautiful. I mean, funny enough, you and I met at a retreat where, I was speaking, you were attending. We bonded over shared mutual high vibration feelings of gratitude, joy, reverence, and just loving what is. And I think it's so beautiful that you foster that and cultivate that in your retreats. Now, how else can someone, find themselves connecting with you? Are you available online? They can connect with you in some other format if they can't make it to Ireland. What other things do you do, Caroline?
At this moment in time, I am teaching within the area. And I'm also going to be at a lot of the holistic fairs that are coming up.
Lovely.
The one in Essex County. And then we also have big plans for February as well, another holistic day. And I'm also teaching at Bliss in Kingsville.
Wonderful.
Yes,
So you have a lot going on.
And of course, I have my website.
Yeah.
And I do, when I start a yoga retreat, before people leave, I also have an information day. And we do a lovely yin class. We bring in a harpist and stuff like that. Yes, and answer 9 million questions.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Great.
Of course. Yeah, because the thing is, I don't want people going on a yoga retreat and being anxious before they go.
No,
like, really?
No, and that is very kind of you because most people will, I gotta say. I mean, thinking back to the moment before I went on, one of my first retreats where I was spending a chunk of money towards myself saying, yes, I deserve this. B, I was leaving things behind, responsibilities, saying, yes, I'm more important than these things. And it really brings up a lot of, well, who am I to do this? And am I really deserving? And why should nobody else come on this trip? And I get to go. And I only have this much vacation time. And, what are my kids going to do? And, we have this whole host of things. So how do you really help women overcome that? Because I know for me, I speak to a lot of women, on the border of ready to invest in themselves in a greater way, whether energetically or time bound or for money, whatever that case is. So how do you help women across that, what sometimes feels like a chasm to get across?
For me, Jen, it's quite simple. Because if you want to treat the people around you and the people you love kinder and gentler and be more appreciative of them, right? And you want them to see a better version of you, you need to go on a retreat, right? You truly do.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is, I really always say that retreats are priceless. And especially if you've vetted the people, you've connected with people who have been at the retreat, you really trust that person, you have an understanding of what to expect, because you're right. You don't want to have anxiety going in and then being halfway across the world going, oh my goodness, what have I just done? and,
Yes.
feel that feeling. But if you can trust that there's an opportunity for a level of transformation that no amount of money spent in your regular day-to-day can really create for you, I mean, it's a hell yeah to go,
And this is the thing, Jen. If I said to you, okay, Jen, here's the money for a retreat, you or your sister can go, you'd be sending your sister.
Mm.
Am I right?
Interesting.
You would. Absolutely. And that's what happens with women, right?
Yep, you're right.
And it's like, women today, they want to get their teeth fixed. They're in their 40s and their 50s and they won't spend the money. But yet if it was one of their children, they wouldn't have a problem, right?
I know.
And I would be the same. Much do they need? Well, we don't have it, but we'll find it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. It's so true. And it is an opportunity to really connect with these belief systems that rule our lives and limit us and keep us from doing things for ourselves that we truly do deserve. Why would we ever feel we don't deserve it?
Because that's the conditioning we're under, right?
Yep.
That's the conditioning. That's from our moms. That's from our grannies. That's from everybody that passed that on to us.
Yeah.
So one day we realize, you know what? I am worth that. And then, it's the next person. I deserve it as well.
Yeah.
It's not just for the girl with all the money. It's also for me too.
Well, and you know what? The big thing I know is that when I stepped up for myself and I allowed myself to choose yes for myself by going to retreats and investing in myself and getting mentors or getting teachers or taking courses or degrees or whatever the case was, it allowed me to give permission to other people to do the same. And people are looking for those role models as I bring it full circle back, because we don't have those role models in our life that just say, yeah, I'm going for it. And you know what? Who cares if I fail? Because that's almost guaranteed. But you know what? I'm going to try anyway. And that really is speaking to something. So I think going on a big excursion that feels scary and outside your comfort zone is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself in this lifetime.
But Jen, the other side of the coin is if you don't. If you don't, and you think you're not undeserving, right? And you don't treat yourself well in any way, you end up bitter and angry, and you'll be resentful of those around you, right? You absolutely will.
Yeah.
You can only suppress our emotions for so long, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then one day they don't know what happened to you, and you ran off with somebody on Facebook or something.
Exactly. Yes, I'm sure that's someone's story, but yes.
You always hear about that woman. She was lovely and nice, and then one day she ran away.
Snapped.
What happened to her?
She snapped.
She had enough.
Yeah.
Right? That's
the people pleaser mentality when you don't let yourself come first.
Jen, and I see it so much, and it's like these women then are, and unfortunately sometimes women are angry and resentful of other women that aren't taking care of themselves.
I know.
Right?
Well, and that's one of the things that I actually, if someone can identify that either jealousy or miscontent when you see someone else, envy, if you can see that and you go, oh my God, that's me, I'm envious of someone, that's the greatest gift. And the minute you recognize that, that's something that you can heal, and that's really, really exciting. So I'm glad you brought that up. You know what, Caroline, it has been what a gift to have you on here. Any last parting words with our audience today who is looking to step up to something scary in their life and do something that, maybe is putting themselves first for the first time in their whole life? What would you say to them?
I would say to them, this is the thing. You are, I think everybody's worthy. So you're worthy of that. You're worthy of this trip, whether you're worthy of, the yoga nidra class. Of course you are worthy, right? And I truly believe in that. Look at the value in everybody and try and look at the value in yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's what we forget. We value everybody else around us to the point that we're given from that empty pocket, right?
Yes.
The empty cup syndrome, the whole lot, here, take everything, right?
Well, and that leads to the resentment where we go, I just have nothing left. Why are you still taking from me? And it's because you've taught me that. How else would I treat you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, they have a lovely saying in Ireland, get down off the cross, right? Because they don't want any martyrs. Right? And it's the truth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
do you
we
want
can
to be a martyr, or do you want to go and see lovely Ireland? What do you want?
Yes, take responsibility. There's no victimization that needs to
for
be.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
I
your
like
life choices.
that.
And of course it's frightening. Jen, I've had women come to Ireland with me, they never even had a passport in their life. God love them, right?
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Then the next year they're coming back with me again, and then they're saying, "Oh, I'm heading on a few days to the trip. I'm going to up and see Belfast."
Oh,
I'm like, Belfast.
I
Go ahead,
love
girlie.
it.
Go ahead. I'll trip it out for you. I'll
That's
sort it out for you.
awesome. I love it. Thank you for all that you do, Caroline. Thank you for your time and your wisdom. I look forward to having you on again in a later podcast.
Thank you so much, Jen. It's been lovely. Lovely
Take
chatting.
care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.